But I was struck by the visual imagery of Venus crossing across the big sun, and to think that it is held in place somehow, that we're all held in place with unseen cobwebs, you know, unseen lines of connection, made me shiver.
Poets think of themselves as astronomers. That idea of the stargazer is a very strong idea for people who write poetry. Tolaga Bay itself is a very small settlement, but it has this sense of history about it. That was the place where Cook arrived. It's where Europe and the Pacific first met in a positive manner. Cook's trip was a science trip. He went to Tahiti to observe the transit of Venus, did that, opened an envelope from the Royal Society, and it said, "We want you to go on further south and discover the great unknown southern continent." And he found New Zealand.
They'd all done such a great job at organising the day, but making sure that they maximised the awesomeness of the day by, you know, opening the wharf and the play that the children had written, the singing, the dancing. And I enjoyed the event itself. It was unexpectedly emotional, watching the track of Venus across the sun.
Going to Tolaga Bay first, we all had this amazing experience together. We could connect as human beings first.
There's people from the other side of the world who, in some ways, are your brothers and your sisters. Despite the fact that you've never met them, seen them, you come from a different culture with different rules, with different ways of doing things. There's a camaraderie. So I thought that was very powerful.
I'm really looking forward to working with Ulrike as well, because she is particularly interested in sound, and she seems to be open to the idea of collage, of chopping things up and rearranging them.
Wir sind sehr unterschiedlich, auch nicht nur von der Generation her, sondern auch vom Temperament. Wir sind beide so Leute, die, wenn sie das Wort Venus hören, sofort ein Lied, und wir haben immer irgendwie so einen Popsong oder irgendein Lied aus unserer Kindheit im Ohr.
I think writers live in a literary community anyway. Other writers are the people that we most readily can have a conversation with about the things that we care about and that other people might not care about so much, you know, very fine things about language.
Das ist ja immer, wenn man irgendwohin von Goethe geschickt wird, so eine Wundertüte. Also mit wem werden Sie einen zusammenbringen? Ich finde sie extrem belesen und intelligent in ihrer Arbeit. Weicht völlig ab von dem, also wie ich arbeite, so dass da auch eine gewisse Spannung entsteht, einfach dadurch, dass wir nicht einfach dasselbe in zwei verschiedenen Sprachen machen, sondern sehr verschiedene Dinge, die sich dann an überraschenden Punkten berühren.
Colquhoun ist jemand, der mir von Anfang an, also die ersten Texte, die ich schon zu Hause gelesen hatte, die haben mir sehr gefallen. Mir gefällt auch, dass er ein Arzt und Dichter ist. Und er ist noch dazu natürlich, er ist ein sehr open-minded, ein sehr angenehmer Kollege. Und da war also die Schwelle war unerhört niedrig, da zusammenzukommen.
Because we think Germans are sober people, they're funny. They're funny and they're a bit cheeky, and I like it.
The International Institute of Modern Letters is the best known creative writing school in New Zealand.
Jeder Dichter hat ein paar Gedichte vorgetragen, immer in der Originalsprache. Wir haben wirklich stundenlang über Literatur und über die Gedichte gesprochen.
Not only do 3 German poets come to New Zealand, but they work very closely with 3 New Zealand poets, and we will be translating each other's work when we go to Germany in our turn in October, and then presenting that work at the New Zealand Pavilion in the Frankfurt Book Fair.
Als wir aneinander vorübergingen, nahm ich die Streifen seines Anzuges wahr. Elegant war die Kluft, schön war der Mann.
Is it cold out there, future? Is it doubt or determinism that detains you? Oh, future, we love you. Come home.
Schieß ein Bild.
Meine Kleider sind blau. Vergiss mal nicht, diese Blume ist. Alles, was wir haben, ist uns auch von Belang. Alles ist ja.
16 months upon the foam, he grew lightly when in Rome. Ikitia que, ikitia ho. What about the quid pro quo? Yo ho ho, yo ho ho, kei taka que. If you don't go, quaddle-doodle addle dear. Only birds walk upright here.
Ein überwacher Lizard, in dessen Neonbauch durchsichtig leuchtend die Libellen schliefen. Drachen fliegen, Ginger Bee, eating you alive.
Stone warms as I drift, soft, thudding, distant, and dust clatters on my outer metal shell.
What I loved about it was hearing between all of them the associations they made between one thing and another. It's truth, but it's like fiction. It's so unusual, so meaningful.
I think the work's so good already that we can see a really interesting bilingual, actually a trilingual book coming out of this, because the Maori that Hinemoana and Glenn are bringing in is an integral part of the process.
Hey, puti puti, Maori.